Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome in today. I'm drawing this 90-minute art challenge at the moment of this lady here that I'm painting. I end up starting to draw it and then, go into painting it and things like that. And today I'm chatting about a certain topic. Lately I've done quite a few of these videos. I started with just doing a few 90-minute art challenges and just kind of talking about my process and that kind of thing. And then I slowly got into talking about topics again. And I haven't had any artists in lately or anything like that for a little while, but hopefully, one day. Yeah. I will go out and invite more people to come and come in my channel and chat with me on this. But yeah, today I am talking about meeting, the importance of meeting and talking to other artists. Was looking at maybe, the importance of, artists in the industry. Um, but I thought just other artists in general. Anyone really. It's important to talk to anyone really, but talking to artists really specifically is kind of important as an artist for us to grow and learn, to meet other artists, to just chat with them and watch other artists what they're doing, seeing what other artists out there and people who are creating art, what they're doing, how they are living their lives, whether they are working for studios. It's important to have that there, to be a part of maybe a little community, possibly, if you can. It's a little harder these days to meet artists because of the lockdowns and um, things like that going on. Um, so depending on where everyone is from, it all depends. Here in New Zealand, it's all good. We are free to roam per se, and we don't have too many kind of coronavirus cases and things like that going on. So yeah, there's not too much, and you can still go to events and things. There's events over the world that happens and are still happening, where there's all sorts of people gathering. Um, One coming up in a couple of months is Armageddon, which is a New Zealand event, expo thing. Which yeah, looking forward to that. And a lot of artists do go into them, to you know and it's first time having it here, where I'm from, Palmy North. Yeah, it's the first time having it here. Usually it's in Auckland or Wellington or Tauranga and Christchurch, in New Zealand. So first time being here. Looking forward to it. I was looking at getting a table possibly, but another year if it's going to be a regular thing. Yeah, just to see what it's like, and also looking at producing a few more art pieces and improving on a few art pieces as well. That kind of thing. So yeah, but yeah, it's important to go out and be a part of kind of your art community and meet artists online and talk to them, because it's a great encouragement. It helps you relate to someone and relate to people that are out there that are doing this thing. Um, for my YouTube channel, I chat with artists from around the world. Haven't done for a long time. I'm really missing that. I would like to do it really want to go ahead and chat with a lot more artists, but um, as well as I still chat on Discords and other social medias that I have to chat with a lot of these artists that I do chat with, um, just to share how things are going. Um, yeah, and it's quite cool to have their friendship out there. Um, but yeah, it's good to meet artists out there and others that create stuff because it's really encouraging. It's different from just chatting with them online and something like that. Just chatting with them online, just meet them online, just physically meeting them. Um, get a little bit more, I guess, encouragement that way. And a bit more conversation sometimes about a few things here and there. Yeah, I've met a few artists in my lifetime out there, and I have, been and met a few lesser known artists, I guess, and creators as well, out there. Yeah, and going to these events like Armageddon, um, and Fears, we have Fears here, and other things that happen. You do meet some of these other creators, um, that are out there that do this kind of thing. Which is cool to see, and it's really encouraging to relate to them and see what they do, see what they're selling and things like that. That if they're doing well, and see, uh, yeah, it's awesome to see. And chatting with the artists, it does help because they could be on the same kind of boat as you, or they can be on a completely different boat. Um, but you want to be on their boat, they could give you some really helpful advice out there. And even watching videos like this, uh, like these videos that I do have like on my channel, and the videos like these that I'm talking about, and other artists out there, in the Duff's channel, Matthew Dobridge channel, Bobby Cher's channel, Dan Ekus, all those artists there, they have awesome channels, they share their points of views, um, they share what's worked for them, um, and that kind of thing. So having that network of people that you can, even if you're just watching them, it's awesome to have. Um, I'm always on some of those channels, and some of the channels like encouraging them, and um, yeah, because I really enjoy some of those videos and the tips they have and what's worked for them that I could possibly use, and what works for me, and that's always good because as artists we're not in this alone, and that's what I find is important about you know um, having some more people out there that do appreciate art and yeah, and illustration and creativity. I mean, this could apply for whatever you kind of are doing with your illustrations. You could be animation, you could be concept artist, you could be 3D animator. It's always good to have friends out there in different places as well. If you are kind of, yeah, you're a 2D artist, but you have a lot of 3D artist friends, it's always helpful that way. They may have a different opinion on your work, or um, they have a different outlook that could really help you, and it's good to have them. Um, and maybe you could help them, like you could do a concept for them, and they could do you a 3D design of something. Um, Definitely in the past, I'm not too big on 3D, and one of my friends was kind of bigger on 3D. So he did kind of help me. He created a like a figurine for me. It was really cool. Of a 3D one of my characters that I drew. Um, so it can be cool to have friends in like different places. For that kind of thing. And I have been part of kind of groups where we create stuff. And I would work on like the characters, and some other people would work on the backgrounds, and just sharing um, the things and sharing what we do. Yeah, so yeah, it's always good to have that, and it's good for building up your network. There's many ways to build up your network, meet other artists, um, and share with them as well. You never know, who you're sharing with as well, because you might, make friends with artists out there, um, or maybe even a friend, a partner's, of a really famous artist or something. You meet them and you get to know them a little bit, um, and it turns out, they are the partner of the head of, Riot Games or something. So it's always important, even people just interested in art a little bit or that kind of thing, to have them in your network in a way. And yeah, like I said, there's many ways to go about it. Whether for me, it's really helpful for me because I have this channel where I have in the past, I haven't lately, um, you know, chat with different artists, meet them, not face to face, but on virtual, online places, and yeah, we chat, we kind of back and forth chat as well. Every now and again, we'll catch up with each other, see how things are going, have some interesting conversations, and that's always good to keep the conversations alive, and um, have some thoughts and tips of you know um, what we should try, and um, you know given some interesting advice to people that has helped them. You know, I'm not exactly the most employed artist in the world or anything like that, and giving someone who's fully employed in the industry some helpful advice. So sometimes you can get some interesting tips and tricks from different places in the world, and different outlooks of life. You get different opinions, and that's another good thing. Having opinions from other artists is always good. They can help you. They point you in the right direction. Sometimes they can really help you improve as well, and it can get challenging to kind of just draw on your own all the time. So having other artists to help you through that kind of tough time, it's really if other people are drawing with you, it's really it's more kind of encouraging. You see other people do it, and you just really enjoy the whole process. I think that's something that has helped me in the past, watching others paint while I paint my thing. In the past, that has helped me kind of keep going and keep creating things. Um, Seeing how they paint things, seeing like Instagram and YouTube and um, other platforms I watch. I don't watch many other platforms, but just seeing other artists out there um, in these platforms. Also, Discord, seeing all the other artists that post on some of the groups I'm in there. Um, that's always cool to see, what they're creating. Some Facebook groups as well, see other artists. Um, who are really awesome, and some are, on maybe their starting point or are still kind of learning and growing. Um, and yeah, it's always cool to see the different spectrums that there are, level one, level 100, but yeah, it's yeah, uh, stretch there. But yeah, events. So, events I've been to in the past that I've met some cool artists at. I think Armageddon was the first kind of event that I went to where I met a few artists. Um, there was other things before then actually. There was so in Wanganui they had a art tour there, and spent uh, I think it went on for a couple of weeks or so, and I spent uh, two or three, one or well, one day I think, but for a couple of them, there were a couple of events over the month I think it was something like that. A couple of events I went to, and then I spent the day. There was a big load of events on one day, and I spent the day going around the different events. Um, and some were in big open rooms um, with lots of different artists in. You could go and chat with them and look at their art, and that was really cool. How they did their art and what they created. Some were photographers, some were 3D printers, some were doing all sorts of stuff. It was really cool to see. And then there were smaller places, one guy in his shed with some printmaking stuff, and all sorts of different creators out there, which was awesome to see and chat with them. Some of them you get along really well, and others not too much, but they had still had some awesome work. Um, but yeah, it was awesome to see. It's encouraging you come back from doing all that and talking to all those people and seeing all that art and how they created it. Come back so eager to get into the work you want to do, and yeah, and doing the stuff you're doing. Yeah, so eager to do it basically. um, and then I think you also up there was checking out the Armageddon. Went to Armageddon. Um, saw some artists there. Met this awesome guy who does dragons, painted oil painting dragons, um, which is really cool. Chatted with him for quite a bit, and some other artists out there. Some did like comic books, which was really cool to see. Um, and some other smaller artists that were out there doing things. Some were like in uni and they just did this event to trial it out, and they just started and doing all sorts of things there. And then yeah, after that I went to that event again. Had a stall there, which was really cool. Uh, I think it was that year or the year before that there was another event there in Wellington. It was a conference, and there I met some really cool artists. There was a conference event. There was some Weta workshop guys kind of running it, and there were a lot of people from around the globe coming in. Like Ian McCraig was there, um, and a lot of other artists, really colourful artists. There that I got to chat with. I can't fully remember his name off the top of my tongue, and fully from memory, but I've got his book, and I can see, I can visualize him and the projects he's worked on and everything like that. But I can't remember it. It'll be back in my mind somewhere, and it'll probably be like 3 o'clock in the morning, where it's like, oh, that's his name. It's one of those things. It's not someone I followed closely, basically. But he's an awesome artist, and uh, yeah, it's glad to meet him and see his work. You know, I, I really enjoyed color. You know, enjoy using it, and he really enjoys his color, that kind of thing. So that's something we kind of related on. And other artists, I met some artists that worked at Widow workshops, talked to them. um, yeah. And then from there, went to another one of those events. I think we went to two of them, and they were running it again last year, but unfortunately, I had to miss out at that point. But I will look at wanting to do that again, because I don't think they ran it last year as well because of COVID. I know the year before that, it's 2 years ago, they ran out. They might run it again. You never know. I mean, it's all got to get in the clear, and um, I don't know if they're running anymore. I'd have to look into it. But that kind of event is really awesome to see, and also I met some awesome um, artists at the event. One that I met worked for one of the publishing companies I was looking at getting into. But she was awesome. She did great work. Um, so yeah, and some artists were on the same boat as me as well, trying to get into the industry, trying to learn. Um, Maybe the last year of design school, um, or just finished design or school or something like that. So same kind of boat as me. Yeah, which is awesome to share and yeah, share the kind of work we have and yeah, just meet a lot of people. And that's what I'm looking forward to this getting, so I get to go and meet um, some other artists out there, yeah, and what they do and yeah, what they create, and yeah, hopefully see what they do around New Zealand as well. Because being close as home, I might be able to meet some close to home artists that live around my area, and I could get to know a little bit more. Yeah, to keep yourself sane. This is what's important about you know um, meeting and talking to other artists. Say most artists creators do understand the kind of um I guess toughness of creating um you know and a lot of the professional artists or the artists that are doing it for um or have been doing it for a really quite a long time and do it for more extended periods than others. I would say myself, but like a lot of artists out there, um, do understand those struggles of keeping yourself going, um, keeping things going. Whether you're for me, it's running this YouTube channel, so keeping that going, keeping this YouTube channel alive, as well as improving as an artist, um, and just producing new work. and things like that. I understand your struggle of doing it and learning and growing. I'm slowly learning and growing now, um, as I do, and I'm completely failing here too. It's nice to have someone out there, um, as well, ready to support you even though you fail. And that's what's cool, this channel slowly growing. There's people still supporting this channel out there, um, with all the different videos I've created over the couple of years. And some are more successful than others. But yeah, there are still people out there that support this channel, um, and even this Twitch channel as well. The other day was interesting. I had a raid happen on Twitch where it's very small, but it has happened in the past as well where fellow artists, um, that are out there, they do raid my channel, come in and just randomly raid, um, what's going on in my channel. Uh, have It was only like a couple of people. It eventually ended up like 5 people watching me, but it's great to have other people come in and chat with you while I'm creating stuff and doing things. I randomly had one person come in, and I invited them to do a draw along with me where I just randomly drew something with them beside me. It was really cool. They were actually an alright artist. So yeah, it's cool to have them along to draw next to me and uh, just have some fun drawing. Because that's what we're doing is us. We're just having fun, really, and creating stuff. So yeah, awesome. But yeah, that's we're halfway through this video, about 10 minutes ago. So just probably 2/3 way through the video. Yeah, so this week has been busy for me. Again, I had a few early shifts at work, so that changed things around for me. I think with that I had less time to kind of draw and paint per se. I suppose I had a little bit more time, but um, I I had to have a little bit more naps for that, so it kind of put it out of whack this week. It wasn't my usual routine basically, so it was a little bit out of whack. But I got through it. I think I achieved enough this week so far. I'm a little bit behind on where I want to be. Um, but with that, all I have to do is just keep on painting, keep on drawing, and I'll eventually get there. I am planning on my next kind of plans because I don't want to do like tons of these 90-minute drawings on my channel per se. I don't want it to have kind of a copy of what's on Bobby Shield's channel with the 90-minute art challenges images. I do want my own material there as well. So I definitely, even if I do one of these every couple of weeks or so, um, would be good because that would make, that would show a little bit of difference. A variety of different kind of work that I'm doing. It's not all these 90-minute art challenges. There are some other things. I do have something in the background that I'm doing at the moment. I am producing that. So that will be, coming out as well in a couple of weeks or so when I actually finish the painting. I think it might be a part one, part two kind of a thing as well with that. Yeah, I'll probably split up to part one, part two or something. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've got that a decent way, so if I focus in on that and get that done, I can get that part one, part two. I'm looking at possibly editing a few of my images that are out there that I've got in even in my portfolio, editing those up and expanding on those and getting those way better, and fixing up those pieces that are there to sharpen up some of the pieces that are in my portfolio. Um, just to add to it and see if I can uh, re-edit it and see what I've learned in this period of time by doing these 90-minute art challenges and by just learning in general. Um, if I can definitely improve on what I've got out there. Yeah, so there are some different future plans. And having artists in is another thing I have, been trying to find some artists that are out there, contacting other artists that I have chatted with in the past that I would like to see if they would like to rejoin as well. Again, that'll be awesome. A few in mind that might come in the next couple of weeks or so, that'd be awesome. We'll see how we go. Um, but for right now, I just gotta keep going, keep trying to um, create these topics that I'm creating at the moment. I've covered quite a few topics. I'm slowly like running out of topics. Last night I was gonna do a video, but then I kind of finished. It was like, oh, I don't know a topic. Um, but I managed to piece together a topic today, and yeah, I think I did an okay job with this one. Well, won this 90-minute art challenge, did an okay job. Um, but still a little bit of a fail. There's bits and pieces that are off that I don't like too much. Um, but hey, I think I've taken something from it. I think I've gotten better at um, having that lighting, like having that lighting on the face. Yeah, it's actually um, looking like it's in shadow a little bit more, and it's not like it's still um, it makes sense. It's not um, it's not just like some black there, you know. And yeah, I did use a little bit of an overlay layer. Um, but yeah, I have painted it as well, so I didn't just rely on the overlay layers that I usually use. I have kind of painted it as well. Some of the blending is something I'm working on, as well as I didn't really do it in this one, but using a little bit more brushes. That's something I'm looking into. Um, haven't really used more brushes here, just using that one brush. Um, I have in the past just been using the standard round brush, so going away from that a little bit has been helpful. I think in one of the recent 90-minute art challenges I did, I used two types of brushes. I was planning to use multiple, but I ended up, using two, a soft round and a hard round, and playing around with that a little bit. And that's what I'll be doing it a little bit more. Still like to play around with that a little bit. I have completely failed with brushes once, I've relied on brushes too heavily, and it didn't work out in the past for some things that I've done. And, mainly because I didn't have too much time to do those projects I was doing with those brushes, and yeah, it just made it messy in the end, you know. Um, so it's something I'm still learning. You know, having kind of those, if you can see, there's elements of kind of blemishes in the dark. Kind of that's always been a troublesome thing for me, so I think that's something I've taken from doing this painting here, that I can apply in the next painting. And it's gonna be accuracy. It's not gonna be 100%. I think with these 90-minute art challenges, maybe one day it could be, but it's just doing all those elements in it, and picking and choosing as well because you've only got 90 minutes, which is a fair bit of time. But it does go quickly, as well, you know. But yeah, trying to get that drawing as accurate as possible, or well, as you know, good as possible before you start painting as well. Um, there's always a challenge, you don't want to. For me, I don't want to kind of have a bad drawing, but two, I don't want to kind of just starting on color, uh, you know, 40 minutes in, and that it's not too bad. I've done a black and white one where, for the first 45 minutes of it, I was doing black and white painting, and then I continued on to full color render from there. This one I just fully colored it to begin with, and that's been another interesting change for the last couple of years or so. I've just been kind of doing black and whites first, tonal studies first, and then going to color. Um, which both are helpful. Um, yeah, both are helpful to kind of get. Um, I suppose this way is a little bit faster, just painting in the color. Um, but you definitely need to. It can be more challenging as well, though, because you're trying to pick that dark color, but you're trying to make it a certain tone as well. You know, one thing I think with the background, I could have added in that darker um, tone that you see in the background as well. It's like a kerning kind of a tone thing that you can see going on. That would have helped the image. Possibly um, darken up a few patches as well. I think there's another thing I could have improved on. Um, but it's definitely, if I darken up too much, I lose too much detail, I guess, and then I can't reverse it. So maybe I could have used an overlay layer for that, possibly, um, and just, tried that and see what happens. But yeah, seeing some of these things, um, within doing it in 90 minutes, you're just trying to kind of focus in and painting on it and seeing, what you can do. And when it gets towards the end, you don't really want to do big changes, because it can, feel really risky. But I have kind of tried to do big changes towards the end. I think there's another thing is I just having a little bit more confidence in that as well. Doing these no match challenges does help with that. So yeah, awesome. But yeah, having other artists out there that you can chat to, that you can share your work with, it's great for this YouTube channel to share with other artists around the world, to chat with them, get them into this channel, and everything that um, has helped me is being awesome, and it does keep me sane, does keep my art alive, and um, also find ways of what I can do to get to where I want to. Um, yeah, it's great. And I've shared in this video some of the ways I've met people over the years, and the importance of it, um, and yeah, and just chatted with a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the industry I've chatted with, that has been a huge inspiration to me. And it's been great to interview them, to talk to them, and to get to know them a little bit more. It's always great to know some of these artists. Um, yeah. So it's been me doing this 90-minute art challenge. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You've taken something out of it. Let me know in the comments of what your thoughts are on this topic. The importance of meeting and talking to other artists. Um, let me know what you think about that down in the comments. I'd love to know. Or what you thought about this challenge. Anything. To let me know. Keep drawing, everyone. Keep creating, and see you in the next video.